Okay, masticating juicer versus a cold press juicer. And we're going to be using Champion and Omega. So, for the Champion, let's see what break it down real quick here. So anybody has a question, I can watch this. Okay, so on a masticating juicer, or the Champion, which is what the Champion juicer is. So this is the blade. It has a blade on it, and it spins really fast. It spins around 8,200 RPMs. Okay. That's almost too fast. It'll work. It makes the juice kind of hot. Like with a masticating juicer, it rips the fiber from the juice. Rips it. So, and you can see how fast it spins. Pretty damn fast. Okay, so here's the screen for it. A really fine mesh screen comes with it. Just put it together like that and lock it in. This is the plunger. Juice comes out here. You put your little catch pan, and the fibers come out over here. So, like I was saying though, 8,200 RPMs. I think that's what the Champion spins at, and it's like, it's almost too fast. It's not too fast, but almost. Let me tell you why. Some companies will say, hey, we got a fast spinning, juicer, it spins 9,000 RPMs, 12,000 RPMs. And it's like, but you don't want that. No, it spins too fast, tears it up. It tears the plant DNA up. It tears the biophotons up. It tears the nutrients up. It gets spinning too fast. The Champion at 8,200, it's right at that line to where it's like it's almost too fast, but it does work. The juice comes out hot or warm. So you immediately gotta put it on ice, put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer, however you want to do it. You gotta immediately start cooling it down or drink it. Now the most I'd let a quart of juice sit is like 8 hours. So if I make my juice at night, I would definitely have something for breakfast, maybe an early lunch, the next day. And so that's kind of how I do with the masticating ones. It works. The Champion works. Definitely works. I did a 30-day with the Champion and got positive results. Wow, blew my mind. Okay, so that's the Champion. Classic, gets the job done. One second. Next we have the Omega, which is a cold press juicer. The Omega is definitely, or just whether it's Omega or one of the other ones, it's a cold press juicer, period. It's not a masticating juicer, and I'll show you why. So you take out the plunger, disassemble it real quick, just kind of show you what we're working with here. Okay, so that's how you disassemble it. This is an auger. It's not like a blade, it's different. The blade has metal on it, it's sharp, you touch it, it'll rip your hand apart. Don't touch that. This you can actually touch because it's, I don't know if you can see that too well, but it's plastic. And it just spins real slow, and I'll turn it on and show you that. The shaft right here, even with the Champion, I always put a little olive oil on the shaft so that whenever you take it in or out, it doesn't get stuck, you know what I mean? So I'll spin this real quick for you so you can see just kind of, and this has a reverse feature on it, which is actually really neat. So can you see how slow that's spinning? I mean, it's not real slow, but it's way slower than the masticating juicer. Okay, so this doesn't tear the fiber from the juice like the masticating one does, the real fast spinning ones. This pushes it against the wall of the housing, I guess, and it presses it, and it pushes it so hard that it pushes the juice down and pushes the fiber out. So it's like, okay, it's different. It's definitely cool because let me tell you something. You take room temperature apples, run them through a cold press juicer, and it comes out cold. Like, wow, how does that happen? I don't get that quite, but man, that's really neat. So the juice that comes out of a cold press juicer, they say you can let it sit in the fridge for up to 3 days. The longest I let it sit is for 2 days, and like I said, I will fill this jar up, and if I don't get it quite all the way full, I'll just top it off with water just to get all the air out before I seal it up. Get all that air out of there. So let's continue to assemble this here, and this is the screen. And your plunger. So the juice comes down here, falls into the catch pan, and the fibers come out this way, and however you want to dispose of it. But you see this screen here that it comes with? It lets a lot of pulp through, a lot of little fibers through. And you don't want no fibers, no pulp when you're juicing. Okay? So what I have to do is, after this is 4 cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 1 quart. So this will fill up this. But before I can just pour it in there, I'd love to, but I gotta do one more final strain through this fine mesh strainer, because a cold press juicer lets too much pulp through. Too much, and if you're trying to do a juice cleanse, you don't want no fiber, no pulp, no fiber, just liquid nutrients. That's it. Because what happens is your intestines need to not work. See, they just need to absorb the nutrients. But if they have to work and push the fibers out, then it's like you're kind of defeating the purpose. Let's say you got something wrong inside of you. Your joints aren't working, or your broken bone, or damaged liver, damaged heart, something damaged on the inside, right? Juicing, whenever you take away that fiber and just allow your intestines to absorb, believe it or not, your body starts to heal. It can stop focusing on pushing out those fibers and pushing out that food. It can stop focusing on that and say, just give me the nutrients. I gotta go heal this. Whatever it is inside of you that may need heal. And really neat. I don't understand why science really is up on this more than it should be. I think it should be, but so something's broken, cartilage, tendons, anything like that. Juicing will fix it. Go a week, go 2 weeks, man, go 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. They say if you go 90 days, your body will completely be renewed, 100%. It's hard to go 90 days. I did a 30-day, I did a 60-day. It's a little rough. The first 3 days are the hardest, but if you can make it past the first 3 days, and if you're feeling fatigued or you got a headache or something's wrong, you need more juice, because more juice fixes you. 75% vegetable, leafy green, 25% fruit. Now I use a variety. Like I'll juice green beans, I'll juice watermelon, I'll juice potatoes. Well, not only sweet potato, not white potato or any other potato. Only sweet potato. And yeah, just whatever. Just make it 75% vegetable, leafy green, and 25% fruit. And so that's the main difference, I guess, between the masticating juicer and the cold press juicer. This cold press juicer, I have to say, I would take it over the Champion or over the masticating juicer, just because the quality of juice, because it's slow pressed, you get more nutrients. Yeah, it's a little more of a pain in the butt because you got to strain it one more time before you bottle it away, but it's way more nutrient dense. Like if you took the Champion and drank some juice and made that same exact juice through a cold press juicer, the Omega here, you would say, whoa, the Omega or the cold press juicer is definitely the way to go. So that's the difference between them. Like I said, the Champion is just kind of hot, and or masticating juicer, it comes out hot, and you got to get it cooled down or drink it right away. This comes out cold, even if it's room temperature food, still comes out cold, and it's a lot easier to when you store it. Or they can say up to 3 days. I don't know. So that's the main difference between the slow cold press juicer and a masticating juicer, Champion versus Omega. Both are good, but they are expensive. I think it's $300 for both of them. Champion may be cheaper now, but at one point it was $300, and Omega, this was $300. So it's like they're expensive, but they get the job done. So a blender is not the same. A blender blends it all up. You still get all the fibers, all the pulp. So if you can, just try to save your money up for a juicer. Get a used one or whatever if you can afford it. But that's the difference. So blenders, I don't use a blender. If you're juicing, you juice. You know, a blender is for blending. So that's the difference. Yeah.